He's an asphalt driver from the Midwest who made it to the Sprint Cup Series. She's a former Miss Motorsports who's the daughter of a sprint car driver from Pennsylvania. Somehow they make it work. Time for Slingin' Dirt, presented by Hercules Tire. Here are David and Ashley Stremme.
Hello and welcome to Slingin' Dirt. We are the Stremmes and we have an awesome show for you today. Joining us, we have Stewart Friesen. He picks up Super Dirt Car Week win at Oswego, the very first one at Oswego. His fifth in 7 Super Dirt Car wins, or I should say Super Dirt Week wins. And we also have Josh Richards joining us. He is $20,000 richer after he went, as a World of Outlaw guy, went to the Lucas Dirt Series and picked up the Pittsburgher this weekend with the Lucas Oil guys.
Why is it got to be a World Outlaw guy versus
Because
Lucas
he
Oil?
is. I think that's the
it matters.
rivalry.
I don't think it matters.
No? Why
No,
not?
I don't. I think they're dirt late model drivers. And
I'm not
compete.
disagreeing with that, but it's kind of like the World of Outlaw sprint cars and the All-Star sprint car.
There's still no
series.
comparison. They're just drivers. They race.
Because you're right, they do.
So you're saying Craig Kenzer, because he went to the Outlaw or All Stars, is any different?
No, I'm just saying that he is driving for points in the World of Outlaws and went in and dusted up the Lucas Oil Series.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I'm
don't see
saying. I'm
nothing.
not saying that he's not a late model racer.
I think you're just creating drama.
Oh, well, sometimes you need that, don't you?
Anyways, I thought that it shows more of a statement when he beat Scott Bloomquist, who is
Sure.
very strong this year, and when he come in there and, basically Scott's won 5 of the Pittsburghers. Josh come in. Josh was very good last year and picked up a win. The thing that really probably sticks out to me more than anything, I think Flinry, I'm not sure of his name, got in a big wreck there.
Yes.
On Friday, and again, I seen pictures of the car. I thought the car held up very well. There was no cage damage, nothing, but he had a severe concussion, bleeding on the brain, and I do not understand when these series are going to get a little stronger on some of the safety. I don't think there's nothing wrong with the car that was wrecked. I think it comes down to is how the seats are mounted, how these people are placed in the car. You look at 99% of them, I'll throw myself in there. I don't have no roll bar padding on my cage, but my head is also 6 inches away from it. I just think that there's a lot that can be done here. And we keep seeing this week after week. These cars are not going that slow. So it's fast. And maybe, I think I'll put roll bar padding on mine for Charlotte coming up.
Good, and
next
maybe
week.
we can get you in a head sock and some long
Yeah,
underwear.
but I wear,
and
hang on. I don't wear underwear. I wear an undershirt.
Yeah, as
I
of
wear
2
a
weeks
Hans.
ago.
There's things that I wear, but I'm telling you, they are far behind in safety. Far behind. I think in how seats are mounted. I think the belts, head restraints, there's so much. Anyways, we can go on. I don't know when they're going to learn this.
But-
and it's not, listen, you can be mad at the drivers. It's the sanctioning bodies that need to enforce
Well, I was
this.
just going to ask you, how many times in your career of racing, asphalt to dirt, how many times have that stuff been checked? That you've
Well,
had
I went
gloves
through,
and that
they
you have
don't
all
even
that
look
stuff.
at my, very seldom. I think
Do they even do it in the asphalt world?
Yeah, some places.
They do?
They check your seat. They make it mandatory, your head restraint system. It's like there was a sanctioning body, had a rules meeting this weekend. Nothing talked about safety. Everything basically complaining about is stupid stuff that really doesn't matter.
They were talking
at the
about
end
the
of
Hans
day.
device. They were going to make you have a Hans device.
Head restraint. They
Head
did bring that
restraint,
up. Oh, you got to
sorry.
wear. But so enforce it. They can't even enforce simple rules. So that is my thing. Of when you're rolling through tech, you make somebody bring their helmet, their gloves, all their stuff up there. It should be already in the car. A lot of asphalts already do. They do that. They have a procedure that
They do.
yes, they look at your safety stuff.
Short track racing, not like NASCAR.
Short
and
track
stuff.
racing,
Okay.
yes. So
I was just curious.
I just look at again. Yeah, Josh Richards won. Bloomer was there. Neil run good. There's a lot of guys run good.
Mm-hmm.
But I just look at why do we have to keep letting guys get hurt? So, anyways, that is something that's been kind of bothering me over the weekend more than anything. So,
Well, speaking of good runs, Tim McCready, kudos to him. He had a busy weekend. Super Dirt Week, down to the Pittsburgher, back up to Super Dirt Week.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think he was going to pick himself up a win at Super Dirt Week, and between the roughness of the track and some time miscues on his part, he totally called out that he made a mistake.
Well, I mean, again, you're not going to, in this day and age, be flying back and forth and winning races at both. It's just too tough. But I give him credit. If somebody could do it, he could. You know, I mean, but when I look at that rundown of the Super Dirt cars there at Oswego, I mean, the guys that we mentioned before we left the show last week were there. And, I mean, they're just good week in and week out. I can say, hey, Max McLaughlin, you said he won a qualifier.
He won the future feature. It was all the young guns of the sport. They did a future feature. That's the win he picked up.
I mean, congrats to him. I thought that was pretty cool. But for the most part, when I talked to a couple guys that were up there racing, I didn't get to see any video of it other than pictures and social media. It's interesting. Obviously, they're going to learn some stuff from it. But I think they prepped, from what I had heard, they prepped the track too fast before the big 200-lapper. And it got holes, and obviously it wore down to the asphalt and created for some crazy racing. But everything I had heard and some pictures I had seen, everything, the track was phenomenal. But I had heard also from one guy, I saw hearsay, that the town, they're mad, there's dust, this and that.
That's
so they
not
had
true.
That wasn't true?
No.
Okay. So anyways, my thing is that I think they will learn better track prep and doing stuff. But
how many tracks do you know that they've put dirt on in a weekend or even in a month?
You can't do it.
Exactly.
You can't do it.
That's my point. Like Plymouth Speedway is a perfect example. It's taken them 3 years to finally get dirt on an asphalt track and have it be racy and
you just can't do it.
Not end up tore up
if they're
or
gonna
a
do
mess
it,
or
they better haul some dirt in from Illinois and on a train and unload it and put it out. But
well, it will be back at Oswego for 2017.
Yep.
They have already talked about that, and I wouldn't be surprised if it comes back for 2018 too.
I don't, I probably wouldn't either. I mean, but I think that I think there's a lot learned. I think you'll see more tracks probably if they can get it down to where you can put that dirt down, but it needs to be down for at least a good couple months. Some racing on it. I think that the whole reason World Racing Group has like this World Short Track Finals with the 9 divisions next weekend here at Charlotte is to get that track ready. So when the big stage cars, I call them, and I always joke our mods are just track packer cars, but that the track will be in a race condition. So it's going to be interesting because obviously Charlotte Speedway's had off-road, they've had motorcycle stuff, monster truck shows, so they've been moving dirt. I mean, there's been stuff going on. So, I know going out there, I think it'll be in pretty good shape, but you never know. And I just think it's a good choice to do that. So maybe Oswego, they can have some other races beforehand. It's just hard telling.
It's tough with their schedule. They were talking about it a little bit, maybe doing it when they do the fall race. They keep the dirt on it till spring and then be one of the first races in the spring. But Fulton Speedway had the World of Outlaw sprint cars.
Work? Because then they got to pull the dirt back off for all the asphalt, and then it goes back to...
No, from fall to spring. So over the winter, and then they would be the first race for...
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Fulton Speedway, World of Outlaw sprint cars were there. Place was packed because it's only 10, 15 minutes from Oswego. Yeah. Place was packed, so kudos to them. I think once they get things worked out...
push start car show.
It's not. No, but where I'm going with this is I think in the future, it might be a couple years, but I think the sprint cars will be back with the big blocks for Super Dirt Week.
We'll ask this guy if he'd run a sprint car there.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk to Stewart Friesen up next here on Slingin' Dirt, presented by Hercules Tires on MRN.com.
Slingin' Dirt returns in 1 minute on MRN.com.
From work life to nightlife, from home to the road, your day can take you anywhere. These fast-paced times call for Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans. Advanced Comfort is designed to keep up with you, no matter where you go or what you're doing. They're made with 20% stronger denim and 4-way flex technology that moves with you. Wrangler Advanced Comfort. Go anywhere, look great, and be comfortable. Wrangler Advanced Comfort Jeans. Try on a pair today.
A dead battery can leave you stranded, so get yours tested for free during Superstart Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Need a replacement? Purchase a Superstart Extreme or Superstart Platinum battery and get up to $25 in O'Reilly gift cards after a mail-in rebate. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The grill is hot and the cooler is cold at America's Tailgate Party, NASCAR USA. Join us each weekend as your host and head chef Rob Tanner serves up the hottest hits and country music, and Steve Post drops by with NASCAR news straight from the sport's top garages and shops. We have 2 hours of country music at the speed of sound, getting you ready for NASCAR racing. Rev up your weekend at America's Tailgate Party, NASCAR USA. This is Slingin' Dirt on MRN.com. Now back to Ashley and David Stremme.
Welcome back to Slingin' Dirt. Just real quick, who we were talking about at the Pittsburgher who had the concussion. It was John Flinner. We had his name a little jacked up there, but our thoughts are with him, and hopefully he has a full recovery from that. But joining us now, it is Stewart Friesen. He picks up the last one at the mile and the first one at Oswego. Welcome to the show, Stewart.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So now before we get into the racing part of everything, I just want to talk about the atmosphere, what Super Dirt Week was like at Oswego for the very first time.
It was awesome. We had a lot of fun. I camped with my wife, Jessica, and then our son, Parker, and our dog. We, set up shop. There was like 4 or 5 of us on the team that all camped together, and, kind of what we've done at Super Dirt Week at Syracuse the last 4 or 5 years. And they definitely, the dirt car folks definitely did a great job, transferring that atmosphere over to, the new venue, Oswego. I think the venue is so awesome. It's a really cool facility, and we had a lot of fun.
That's the main thing. You had fun. Hey,
right.
I want to tell you, you've been doing a great job. You raced at Dover. We're going to talk a little asphalt. He's been running trucks. At Loudon, you're doing very good. Are you able to, is it real hard converting over to the asphalt stuff from the dirt, or how's that been for you?
It's, it's been tough. It's been a work in progress. My sponsor here, the Halmar International Construction Company from New York City, and now the Halmar racing team, we've, jumped into this truck deal with both feet, and, just starting the deal from the ground up. And it's tough, just getting the right, the right information, all the parts and pieces, and all the right people going. It's been a work in progress, but we've been out there competing and doing fairly well. It's been a lot of fun. I think the hardest part, trying to figure out the dirt to the pavement is the amount of brake you use. Like in the dirt car, you can trail brake it a little bit, play with the brake pedal to help the car handle. Where in the truck, the more I'm on the brake, the more I screw the thing up. So I got to learn to get off the brake and let the thing roll. That was the biggest problem I had at New Hampshire, and started to figure it out, halfway through the race. And so that's been the biggest kind of difference, I think, is just the way you use the brakes on the thing. And then we went to Vegas and didn't have to use any brakes, so that was pretty cool. I didn't have to really worry about that end of it.
Yeah, it's I'm happy you're getting an opportunity to do all that. I think it's going very well for you. And as you talk about that transition, we were talking before you come on here about sprint cars and the maybe getting to run with the big block cars. Is that something that you still want to run in? Is some wing sprint car stuff? Yeah,
for sure. We have a Maxim in the shop that I run, and then Jess has 2 cars there that she's ran a handful of times this year, and it's just with the modified stuff and chasing the Super Dirt Series, I was only able to run it like 4 or 5 times this year, which kind of sucks, because it's a lot of fun. The sprint car's awesome, but the chasing the points deal for the big block series is kind of taking that away from that a little bit, but. I think we're still going to do some races with the sprint car. We talked about maybe doing the World Finals again with the 410. But like I said, we'll just have to kind of see how it plays out and how the schedules line up with that.
Well, you talk about your asphalt experience and your dirt experience. You got to put both of them to the test this weekend at Oswego. I know the track was a little along the way there at the end, but ultimately for the very first one and everything that transpired there, I know it's different than the mile, but is it more cost effective for the drivers? Are you less not spending as much money on tires and fuel since you're not at the mile anymore?
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's it's a lot more cost effective. It's a big half mile. A small 5/8 I think was what they call it. It wasn't very abrasive. It kind of got glazy slick. Had some rough spots. It was challenging. I think it was challenging for the track crews, challenging for the teams and drivers. But yeah, you're right. We didn't use near as much fuel. We didn't burn off a ton of tires. We started to have the quick fill set up in the dump cans for a pit stop, which I think adds to the excitement of the race and just puts a different characteristic to it. So the teams are still involved. But yeah, it's a lot more cost effective. I thought it was a lot racier. And like I said, it was just challenging. For the track crews, everything they went through, the rain they'd got at the beginning of the week. I think they had the track in pretty good shape. Then it rained, Sunday and Monday there, and kind of, they had to battle that. They got moisture down underneath the surface, which they fought all weekend, and then the rain Friday night and Saturday morning, kind of screwed things up for the small block race on Saturday. But I think they did a good job and made the best out of what they could. The big block race was, like I said, it was a challenge. It was rough and ruddy, but it was very, very racy. You could move your race car around the track, find some different lanes. And then by Sunday night, by the time we ran the small block race, I thought the track was really cool. It raced a lot like Eldora, Volusia. It was fast. You could run right up against the wall. It was really a lot of fun.
Would you, I've seen and watched video of Syracuse before. They'd get big ruts and everything in there. So was there any? It's not like Syracuse was super smooth either. Was it?
Right. Exactly. Yeah, you're right. No, there was some some holes that developed there. It's a lot of racing. And it's tough.
Yeah.
It's probably a track prep crew's nightmare to have that much racing that many days in a row and try to keep it perfect.
Yeah, it's I don't know how they would be able to do it other than I know at Boone they have so many races out there they can prep a track in 10 minutes. It's unreal. So you'd have to, if you had a caution, you go out, prep the track a little bit, and go back at it. But with the race at Oswego, was there as much pit strategy as say what was normally at Syracuse?
Yeah, I think so. I know my crew chief Eric McEnroy, and we had some interesting discussions and some heated arguments on the radio throughout the race. McCready had a really good strategy. He kind of did like what we do at Eastern States. He kind of came in like earlier. I think it was around lap 30 or 40, and then raced back up through. And and Shepard and I were running first and second, just kind of hanging out, staying out there, and we were trying to figure out what he was doing. If we could go the whole distance on one tank of fuel, which I don't know if we could or not. It would have been close.
Uh-huh.
But by the time we were out there running around, McCready he'd pitted and he was already back up to like fourth or fifth by the time we came in, just after halfway. So there was a lot of strategy going on, and there was a couple of raindrops that fell just before halfway. So that that made us stay out a little bit longer, just to if the skies really opened up, we didn't want to give up all our track position, and come in and pit before halfway. So there was a lot of different things that played out, but the track was just so darn racy. You could make stuff work on the bottom, you could make stuff work on the top. You could kind of like tiptoe through the middle. So as long as you had a good car, I think that was you could race it.
Yeah.
Talking about strategy, do you have it built in before you even get to the track? This weekend's a perfect example. It was supposed to be 300 laps, and then they changed it to 2. I'm just curious, did you have your strategy already in place before you got to Oswego, and then they changed everything, and you had to go with a new one? And my other question is these pit stops, do you guys practice anything like beforehand with your guys?
Not at all. We probably should, but we don't. It just it's the way we did it at Syracuse. We kind of shoot from the hip. We got a couple good guys that have been over the wall, for years at Syracuse. My gas man has been with me, 10 years now. Wild Bill, and he gasses the car. And that's usually the most important thing at Syracuse is to get the gas in and out and make sure you don't stick the can in there and drag it out of the pits with you. And then just try to get the tires on, just as smoothly as you can. It's not, it's not like the NASCAR stuff where you're trying to set land speed records. If you can get, 5 nuts off, change the tire, get it back on, and then with this race, we had to take our mud cover off, which we have to bolt them on now. They're not Zeused on. So you got to unbolt the mud cover with a little impact, change the tire, bolt the mud cover back on. It's just about being effective and smooth rather than, try to set some land speed records with it. But, the strategy we had talked about, maybe we could do, 175 laps or so on a tank of fuel, give or take how the cautions play out. So with going and thinking it was a 300-lap race, we kind of thought, well, maybe we'll just pit around halfway and go for it. or even if something happens where we the track changes, we pit again and either change a tire compound or change stagger. So when they shortened it up to 200 laps, we'd kind of went with the game plan. We were going to just stop once, but we just had to let the race kind of unfold to see when that stop was going to be.
That's insane. I
But
can't.
it's exciting. It's really
I'm
exciting.
sure it is, and especially for the guys that are jumping over the wall who have never practiced.
Yeah.
That just blows my mind. And now that it's at a smaller track, I can't imagine how they did the pit stops. I mean, you would have had to come in on the backstretch, I'm assuming, and then were you double file?
Yeah, they did it kind of the same as how they do the the ROC pavement modified 200 up there. You come in turn 3, circle through the infield, which is all paved, which is really nice, and then enter the track back out in turn 2. And I think it was like the top 20 or 30, maybe 25 guys pitted on the left-hand side of pit road, and then the other guys pitted on the right-hand side of pit road, which I didn't really watch any of the stops from the right-hand side guys, but it was a challenge because then we were only allowed to have our quick fill out the left side, so that was kind of the downfall of not qualifying really well. If you had to pit on the right side of pit road, you had to go over the Jersey barrier and carry your fuel can all the way around the car to hit it. So
Wow.
it was good though. I think it went off smooth. We had a bunch of different strategies, so it wasn't like everybody came on pit road at the same time and there was mass chaos and maybe a dangerous situation that Syracuse kind of did. Everybody would kind of pit. You'd have 20 guys on pit road at the same time. Whereas how this race played out, everybody was kind of on doing their own thing and racing it. So, but it was cool. It worked out good. It was I think Dirt Car, they did the best they could, and I'm really really excited to go back next year. Obviously.
Yeah, I would too. Win it.
Right.
Hey, so they have the World Short Track Championship the week before World Finals. I think they have 358 center steer mods, you'd call them, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys coming down early to run some, get some more track time, or what's your schedule looking like leading up to World Finals?
I don't think so. We have the Eastern States 200 at Orange County in 2 weeks or that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to stay up here and run that, and then we'll be down. For the traditional World Finals there for the Thursday, Friday, Saturday deal.
I know I'm looking forward to it. That's you guys put on, to me, it's my favorite part of the show, watching at World Finals. And I was sitting here thinking about, you talking about track conditions. I don't know of a track that the big block mods are easy on. Because it's like when you guys go out World Finals, you guys kind of clean the whole place up,
Yeah.
It's not like a sprint car where they run against a cushion or around the bottom. I mean, that's what I love about them, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you guys come down here.
Yeah, it's a great time. That's what I said. Like that, like Oswego there raced very similar to like Charlotte, Eldora. Them round fast tracks where you can get up on the wall.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. So. I always love coming down to Charlotte. It's a great weekend, and running in front of that crowd that we get down there is just unbelievable. It's so cool.
Great.
Awesome. Well, Stewart, we appreciate you being on the show. Congratulations on your 7th Super Dirt Week, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right, sounds good, guys. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thanks,
Take care.
Stewart.
Wow, 7th?
Yeah.
7th over. Is he the leader? All-time winner of it?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I would assume so with Well, I don't know. You think of Barefoot Bob and guys like that. I don't know. That's a good question.
You have to look that up.
He's three in a row now. I do know that.
Yeah.
And
I know Hearn. He talked about pit
7
stops.
years.
Hearn come in early. I think he was like 175 laps or something. So it's interesting, the different pit strategy. It'd be interesting if they keep it 200 laps. Maybe it was fine. I think, listen, they have the longer races, maybe some traditional stuff. Maybe they keep this, but that's a lot of laps there, 300.
Yeah, but, like Stewart was saying with the pit stops, like that stuff is what keeps, I would love, it's been several years since I've seen it live.
It'll be like when Wood Brothers change pit stops in NASCAR and IndyCar.
It's true, but
somebody's going to roll in there, and it's going to change pretty fast. So
I'm sure, eventually.
Hopefully that doesn't happen, but
they'll hire their own NASCAR crew to come do it, for sure. But we'll talk to Josh Richards up next here on Slingin' Dirt, presented by Hercules Tires on MRN.com.
Slingin' Dirt returns in 1 minute on MRN.com.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
From work life to nightlife, from home to the road, your day can take you anywhere. These fast-paced times call for Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans. Advanced Comfort is designed to keep up with you, no matter where you go or what you're doing. They're made with 20% stronger denim and 4-way flex technology that moves with you. Wrangler Advanced Comfort. Go anywhere, look great, and be comfortable. Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans. Try on a pair today.
If you haven't checked out MRN.com's exclusive online programming, you've missed a lot. MRN Motorsports Monday. Review and preview the NASCAR weekends. Winged Nation Talk, Winged Sprint Cars. The latest from the NHRA. On the straight line. Dirt, late model, modified, and big block modified talk. Slingin Dirt. NASCAR regional, local, and international series on NASCAR Coast to Coast. Exclusive, original online motorsports talk on MRN.com. This is Slingin Dirt on MRN.com. Now back to Ashley and David Stremme.
Welcome back to Slingin Dirt. We're the Stremmes. Joining us now, he picks up the Pittsburgher win. It is Josh Richards. Welcome to the show, Josh.
Thanks for having me on here.
So, Josh, I know that Pittsburgh Motor Speedway is one of your favorite tracks. Of course, you know, you won this weekend and you're an extra $20,000 richer from it. But why else is it also one of your favorite tracks?
It's just, Pittsburgh's just a unique place. I mean, I think most importantly, it's just sentimental. You know, it's less than an hour and a half from our house, and I grew up, you know, as a kid going there and watching my dad's business partner, Steve Baker, you know, race there, you know, as well as our house car guys, and it's always been a good track for us. You know, our house cars won it, I think 4 or 5 times before I even started racing. So I think just growing up as a kid and going there and on top of that, the track itself is you know, extremely unique. We don't go to any track that even comes close to simulating that place. It's just, you know, bigger 5/8 and round and fast and momentum and it gets slippery, and it's just how you race that place is it's just so much fun, and I just always enjoy going there.
Is it, because I don't know much about that place, and it looks, the last couple of years, it looks so much fun that you can kind of run all over the place? Is there not one really dominant lane, or?
Yeah, I mean, really, you can run anywhere. I mean, it used to be the top kind of tapered off a little bit, and, you know, the way they have the banking and stuff now, you can run any group. I mean, the last, you know, 15, 20 laps, you know, we were searching around, and you know, we ran from the outside wall to the inside wall and everywhere in between, and you know, you could run just about anywhere. You didn't have to be in one place, and that's usually rare for a bigger track like that. You know, Knoxville, you know, is my next favorite track, but it's very similar, but it's still it still races so much different than Pittsburgh. It's just it's a lot of fun.
Have you seen a picture on Dirt of you and Scott in Victory Lane?
I don't know if I did or I didn't. I glanced through them. I didn't really pay attention.
If you got to look at this picture, because it could be 1,000 words going on. Obviously, Scott's had a great year. You're having a great year. You two showdown in Pittsburgh. But I thought it was so cool. He come up, congratulated you, and the look on his face and the look on yours, I didn't even have to know what was said. It was just so cool seeing that picture. So how was it? And by the way, you need to go check that picture out. But how was it, you know, racing with him? And obviously you guys run 2 different series and, you know, beating him there at Pittsburgh.
I mean, it's always good. You know, he's had a phenomenal year, and, you know, he congratulated us afterwards. And I think we ran second to him at Lernerville for the Firecracker, and, you know, congratulated him. He's done a great job all year long, and you know, not only, racing with him and always racing with different guys, you know, to kind of see, you know, where you stand on everything. Because, you know, you get racing one series or the other, and everyone's like, well, you can't run with these guys, or those guys can't run with you, or whatever it may be. And then so when you intermingle and, you know, you can still, you know, contend to win races, it's, you know, it's a lot of fun.
And we knew going in there. I mean, he was the guy to beat. I mean, I think he's won that race 6 times now, and I think he won it last year, and was really good. And I think last year we led some laps there, and we just got too tight late in the race, and I kind of put that in my notes and made some adjustments to kind of go towards that direction, because I knew that usually by lap 60 or 70, it's very important to steer there, and I think that was the difference this year, that we were able to stay out front and get a win.
You talk about the balance change, and I know you've run like Xfinity cars and trucks and everything. Is there a drastic change, like say through that run of 100 laps, to where you got to start your car a certain way and then to end up, feeling good?
Yeah, I think especially at a track like that, because it's the groove moves around. I mean, you can run anywhere, and I guess you get, typically qualifying and heat races and stuff, we're running right around the top. So you got to be able to maneuver to be able to use the racetrack, because once, the tires that were on stuff, they move around and they come and go, and, they get hot, and then you move in the ground and they'll cool back down. It's just, they do move around a lot. And I think it's really just driver preference and, to get in the feel that you're looking for. And last year, like I said, we were fast, but I knew we were too tight really to last 100 laps. So that was, I guess the difference was be able to run fast enough without using our stuff up to, to where we could maneuver.
Josh, you talk about the tires and everything, and this weekend you chose to go with a softer right rear than everyone else. So you gambled a little bit, and sometimes that bites you, sometimes it works out in your favor. What makes you just decide to gamble like that when everyone else is going with something a little bit harder?
I think really just past experiences there. I think, Satterley, ended up running third, and he was on the same tire that we were on. And I think Michael Norris, a lot of the locals know that track really well. And I think I was completely confident going with what we had. I knew that we were going to be good for a while, and I just didn't know when we were going to start to fade. And about the last 15 or 20 laps, it was fading, but I think more so just because the track moved. So once I kind of counteracted and moved around a little bit and moved down the track, we still had speed and was still able, to pull back away at the end. So I think that was more than any of it.
I know, looking at just say the Rocket brand, obviously this last half of the year, customers in that X1Rs have picked up business, we shall say. You talk about Sadler. I mean, there's been so many. How does that make you feel? I know last year at World Finals, you unrolled it, and there was so much work your dad and everybody there at Rocket put into this. How's that feel, seeing everybody running well with that?
Oh, I mean, it feels extremely well. I'm just as happy for, the rest of the guys, our, Rocket guys running well as I am to be running well. It's, it means a lot. It's not just, our team, we've been successful, but, to see, our work out there and to see those guys running well and winning races and running up front. I mean, that means probably more than anything. I mean, even the local guy, Michael Norris, he's 24 now, I guess. He set fast time overall at the World 100. Then he went back in there over the weekend, and he runs, well there all the time. And we set fast time by a big margin, and I think we were right at the track record, and he went out and beat me by almost 3/10 at the end. Wow. So he had almost a second over, the next guy. So it was, he runs really well there, and a lot of those other guys that run really well. And I actually learned more from watching him. He's in one of our cars, and it's good to have people to compare to and be able to bounce ideas from, and just from watching them and them watching us, where we can have each other to lean on, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So I ask a lot of other people this question, and I see your wife at the track a lot with you. Obviously, she probably couldn't critique what you've done this weekend, but just say times you don't win or you come in. Does she give her advice, and is it delivered in a somewhat fashion that is you don't get upset like when you come in? Basically, does she yell at you and tell you need to do something different?
Oh yeah, she's extremely competitive. Andrea she's got that competitive fire in her, and that's one thing I love about her. She's not afraid. If I mess up, she's going to tell me I messed up. She's like, "What are you doing out there?" but it's good. We there are times, obviously when things are going well, it makes everything easier. But I guess that's what's the challenge of racing in general. It just never stops. It's like you get things figured out for a while, and then you're going to hit some sort of a slump one way or another, and just rebounding through that. But my support system is everyone's kind of hard on each other, but just because we're so passionate about what we do, and we know we're capable of good things. It's just a matter of everyone working together to figure out what we need.
Well, she does a great job with your social media because I can follow a lot, but my only advice is you need to get her another cell phone brand maybe, because sometimes she'll be like, bad cell service, didn't have at the track. So I'm like, just get her another phone so she can keep But she does a great job for you. I love it that she keeps updates and keeps everybody on social media aware of what you're doing.
Oh yeah, she always tries to, so she does really good with all that stuff.
Well, Josh, we had your dad on a few weeks ago, and Mark talked about how 2014 was a great season for Josh Richards and everything that was going on at Rocket. But I'm pretty sure that 2016 surpasses 2014. Does it in your mind as well?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, this year's it's really been crazy. I mean, I guess now that we've had a few weeks to kind of unwind, and we raced Pittsburgh this week, but we're off for 2 or 3 weeks before that, and you're able to kind of unwind, and you're kind of out of the grind a little bit, and kind of reflect on everything that that happened this year, and it's pretty crazy. I mean, I just couldn't be more thankful for the year that we've had. I mean, it's always great to win races, and the numbers and everything that we did was really cool, but most importantly to be able to as a racer, you just want to be able to be in a situation where you can contend, to win races. And if you can, do that consistently, you couldn't ask for anything else. So, I mean, I think just for us to be able to, have that consistency to put ourselves in position to do that is, it's been an unreal season. I mean, just to start off in Florida and be able to maintain, throughout the year and have 26 wins this year. It's just something I never would have dreamed would ever happen.
Well, so World Finals, couple weeks, you'll have your banquet, everything. You got any hunting trips planned, any vacations? What's going to go on here in the little off season you have?
We're definitely going to go on vacation somewhere. Actually, my wife and we haven't even gone on a honeymoon yet. So we're, I still owe her that after 2 years. So we don't have anything planned at the moment. We're definitely looking and trying to figure out somewhere to go and unwind a little bit. And my crew chief, Danny, is he's getting married, I think, a few weeks after the World Finals. And I think we're all just going to kind of relax a little bit and unwind and, enjoy the off season that, the little bit that we have, because we'll be busy, rebuilding again for January.
Your dad, there is no off season him, or relaxing in his terminology, I can see. My advice is, hey, there's a little island, Anguilla, down by St. Martin's. Go there. You can relax, unwind for a few days, and the food is phenomenal.
That sounds good. We'll definitely have to check it out.
Well, that's good.
I love it. All about vacation.
Yeah.
But we still have a few more weeks to race in. You have the Dirt Track World Championship and then Dirt Track World Finals. Is that it?
That's it. That's it for us. It's kind of weird. I mean, this year everything's kind of moved ahead a little bit. The World Finals being, in October and back in October, and everything moved in. It's kind of, we've kind of rushed the last, summer trips, and now, the season's practically over. It's crazy. The weather all changed at once. It's like once, October 1st hit, now the mornings are, 30, 40 degrees, and it's cool, and it kind of reminds you that the season is just about over. But that's it for us.
Hey, I got a question for you, and you could probably help me with this. We've seen so many people getting hurt this year, not necessarily, cars just destroying. I mean, cars have holding up well, but in the wrecks, they're getting concussions and everything else. And you've been involved on the asphalt side of things where there's I would say a lot more safety, and I know you take a lot with what you guys do. Don't you think, or my opinion is, that some of these sanctioning bodies need to step up and really enforce some of the safety equipment that's out there, and some of the probably the way things that seats are mounted and some of the other stuff that's done that could help some of these cases not happen?
Oh, I agree. There's the amount of the people getting hurt or injured or killed, especially this year, seems like it's been more so than than it has the last few years. I don't know if it's just coincidence or the cars are faster than they used to be and everything else. But like I said, the whole safety part of it, I think they've tried done a good job of mandating head and neck restraints and stuff like that. But I think that somewhere along the line that every racer needs to be more educated on how to mount their seats and how they should be fitting in their seats and having the proper seat belts and everything like that. I mean, we always try to go the extra mile to try to make sure that stuff's right and ready to go and rotate our seat belts out. I think we've had 2 or 3 sets in this year just to make sure that everything that we've had is up to par. It's just something you can't, it's hard to, you just never know what can happen. You try your best to prepare and then, something else, happens and then it opens your eyes in another direction. So we always try to, work our cars around that, whether it's, moving the roll cages around or whatever it may be, is to try to, to be safer.
Well, that's something that I like what your dad, talking with him on this new X1R, they moved the cage up, give the driver more headroom and some stuff through there. And I thought it was really cool, because you talked about it, the cars are getting faster. And as a racer, we got to go, hey, we need to make sure that we're doing all we can to make sure that we're safe in there also.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, good friend, John Flinner, got in a bad wreck this weekend at Pittsburgh, and it was, it was devastating. I think, a lot of it, is the attitudes of the cars, and they're rolled over on the right front or up on the left rear, and if you bounce and hit the hole the wrong way, it doesn't take much to get them over compared to 5 or 10 years ago. So I think that's a lot of the reasons to go with it.
One of the things I thought was interesting, I seen his roof come off. And in the picture, I thought, man, maybe like you're saying, a lot of cars, it's easy to get them upside down. Maybe we need to have like on top of the cages, a safety net, something in there. So when you're flipping, there's not maybe your arms or stuff flying, out. I mean, there's just things that I think needs to be looked at because of speeds and everything that everybody's running. And I'm not saying this, it's not like I'm scared. It's just like I go, man, there's a lot of stuff happening here. We got to do something, with it.
Yeah, without it. I mean, I couldn't agree more. Just trying to, get everyone on the same page and figure out what we need to do.
Well, I'm sure they'll work on it. So,
Josh, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I kind of am
just
a little bit.
Good.
Well, I'm just curious because we were having this discussion in the opener about Lucas and World of Outlaws. And no, seriously, because you're a World of Outlaw guy. You went in, you beat Lucas Oil. David's like, it's not any different, but it is to me. And they're 2 series. They're both very good series. But what makes you ultimately choose World of Outlaws over Lucas?
I think that, the biggest, reason, I think we've just, I started my rookie year running it. And I guess it really works down to logistics and I guess just, they've been really good to us, and really, there's pros and cons, on both sides, but I think just the way that, the schedule and everything works out and the Outlaws right now, it does have a bigger points fund. There's different things to look at, and everyone's like, oh, you're scared to run to Lucas guys and whatever, you hear all this stuff, but they've been good to us and we've supported them, so we don't really have any reason to, just jump ship just to, run another series. But, I guess to compete, to win either one of them, you have to be, good enough to win either one of them. So I think it just works down to, just logistics and we don't really have any reason to jump ship at this point.
Well, I think it's a good, healthy thing to have 2 very strong late model series. Lucas Oil, obviously, they have a lot with the TV and different sponsors. Then you look at the World Outlaws with Craftsman coming in and everything they're doing, like you said, the point fund. I think it's great because then if you take where you have, say there's just one, then they can dictate a lot of things and at least teams can pick and choose and do stuff. We see it with McCready this year. He's over running Lucas Oil. Some guys went over to World Outlaws. So I think it's good for both.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. When you have 2, it kind of, one, it keeps everybody in check. But, yeah, it's obviously, we race for a living. So to have 2 good paying series that are able to, to go out and promote and do things and be able to have, the purses that we have and have the like Craftsman coming aboard and Lucas Oil, putting their support into it. I mean, it's like the more the merrier, to a point compared to just only having one, and then you're, they can pretty much control what you want to do. But it's definitely, one reason why late model racing is healthy.
Don't they, for the most part, like all the crown races, they don't really schedule? I know this year, like they had the World, and then which wasn't, it's a not really a World Outlaw race, but you got the World, then right away it was Knoxville, But for the most part, they don't schedule races, the crown races, on top of one another, do they?
Not normally. No, the big ones. There are a couple. Like the North South. We've either. I think this year we might have raced during. I can't remember, but the last couple. There's a few races. Like the Show Me 100 at Wheatland and all that. Those are. We're always racing, but the big stuff at the end of the year. They try to. They don't schedule on top of each other just to try to pull cars from one to the other. They're both all the big stuff's big races, and they know that everyone wants to be there, so they usually do a good job with that.
That's great.
Love it. See, it was a good question.
Yeah, it was. She's just from Pennsylvania, and that whole posse outlaw thing and all this other.
It has nothing to do with that. I was just curious. Yeah. Anyhow, Josh, thank you for joining us today. Congratulations on your win this weekend, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks here in Charlotte.
Sounds great. Thanks again for having me on.
Thanks, Josh.
It was cool hearing him from that side, because it did get me thinking about, and you talk about, say, World Outlaw Sprint Cars and All-Stars. And the All-Stars you do see growing. Yes. And you talk about travel. Well, All-Stars don't travel as much as, say, the World Outlaw. So I think that, when you look at logistics, I mean, Lucas Oil, I don't think they really hit a big stretch of where they're gone for, like World Outlaws, like where they're gone for almost, I'd say, I think it was a month and a half or 2 months. They kind of stretch it out. But
and like you said, I think it really gives diversity. It gives that option that no one's in control of just the entire industry. I
think, and that's why dirt racing's healthy compared to asphalt stuff. I look at this weekend. They had the Winchester 400, which is a big race to me on asphalt, very historical race. But the week before, they had a big race at Nashville, and for them teams to go back and forth, it's hard. It's very hard. And obviously, they weren't thinking right when they were scheduling and doing stuff. But the dirt guys seem like, hey, all right, we'll go race here. All right, we can turn around and go run right over here. So I give kudos to them.
Yes.
And they've kept the rules pretty much aligned together so they can do that. That helps. Everybody talks about tires, and there's difference. Look, tires are a consumable item. They're going to burn up, and you're going to get new ones. So it's like saying your oil needs to last 100,000 miles. Look, you change it, and you put new in. So I think like this weekend, the what is it called? The World
Dirt Track World
Dirt Track
Championship.
World. They got all these
Dirt Track Worlds.
But anyways, I would have liked to have gone. The thing I don't like for mods, they have us there Thursday, nothing going on Friday, and then we're there Saturday. I'm like,
and
I'm not
even anything close enough to.
Yeah, I'm not going to burn a day. But it is great racing. Portsmouth puts on a really good show. All the camping, all the stuff happening there. I know Dirt Racing Outreach has a memorial, or a charity event set up there where they can do some bidding on. I seen Clint Boyer's fire suit. I seen some body panels, brand new seat belts, all this stuff, all going to help different racers. So they got a lot of stuff happening there, and it's really cool. But we'll see World Outlaw guys coming over, and obviously 100,000 to win is 100,000 reasons to go and run. So
it's 100,000 reasons to get to the front, and
yeah. Well, it'll be interesting because Davenport was strong there the last time, but it's been Bloomer's house. He's won a lot, but a couple weeks ago. Delmas Conley, I think, is the 71-year-old guy that still gets it done. So he'll be there, and I mean, there's just so many, and it's going to be a cool event. I am sad that we're going to miss it, but it's great. So if you're in that area and you want to check out some racing, go over there. It'll be good.
There you have it. Well, we've got to take a quick break. We'll be back here on Slingin' Dirt, presented by Hercules Tires on MRN.com.
Slingin' Dirt returns in 1 minute on MRN.com.
If your wiper blades are worn and streaking, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and save $8 instantly on a pair of Rain-X Latitude wiper blades. Improve visibility and save money with Rain-X Latitude wiper blades. Plus, take advantage of our free wiper blade installation. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
From work life to nightlife, from home to the road, your day can take you anywhere. These fast-paced times call for Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans. Advanced Comfort is designed to keep up with you, no matter where you go or what you're doing. They're made with 20% stronger denim and 4-way flex technology that moves with you. Wrangler Advanced Comfort. Go anywhere, look great, and be comfortable. Wrangler Advanced Comfort jeans. Try on a pair today.
Live sports are the one true reality entertainment, where a single dramatic moment can become timeless. In NASCAR, Motor Racing Network's live broadcast elevates your senses to the sights, sounds, and struggles taking place on the racetrack.
Danica Patrick to the front of the field at Talladega. They are side by side behind her. Jimmy Johnson.
The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Tune in to the Motor Racing Network. Visit MRN.com for an affiliate list in your local area.
This is Slingin' Dirt on MRN.com. Now back to Ashley and David Stremme.
Welcome back to Slingin' Dirt, presented by Hercules Tires. We're the Stremmes. We were just talking about what it would take to win, or what you would do to win $100,000. What would you do?
Oh,
would you move your mom?
I'd move any of them. $100,000's a lot. I think, but you don't see it as much. I mean, you'll see sliders and doing stuff. Like the end of the Winchester 400, I talk about that race. Guy went up, doored another guy. Look, I mean, it's the end of the race, a prestigious race. Of course, you're going to do stuff and give it 100+%. But I mean, to see some of these guys, they just flat wipe other guys out. I don't agree with that. But when I look at and we talk about races and prestigious races, obviously there's a lot on the line. But you look at this weekend going into Portsmouth. It's going to be the same guys up front. You know, Bloomer will be tough. Earl Pearson's running better. We'll give him that. He is running better. But you can't count out, like, Jimmy Owens will be there. He's definitely running better. Josh will be strong. I'm not counting out Davenport. I think Jonathan can still get it done. If his team is all in the same direction, I'll say, then they'll get it done. But they haven't had the performance. Is
he in the 6 or is he in the 116?
Man, if he's in the 116, he's been running better. So I don't know. But anyways, when you look at those races, you can't take away the guys have been strong all year. So,
but then you got somebody like Satterley. I think he's capable of doing it too. He had a good showing at the Pittsburgher this weekend.
That's your posse that you like. I mean, nothing against Satterley. When he leaves that Pennsylvania area, I don't think
he's still competitive.
He's competitive, yes, but I just look at it would be cool a Billy Moyer, because I think this is his last year. They don't know; he hasn't said, but I think also
coming?
Moran will be there. He'll be strong.
See, now that
I'm going to tell you too.
I would like to see him park it.
You know what else you can't take away is Bobby Pierce.
Oh no, absolutely not.
I think Pierce he'll be pretty good. Obviously, when you look around, it's really hard to go up against Josh or Scott.
Sure, absolutely.
But anyways, it'll be interesting. Obviously, they do we were talking about passing points on the break.
Yes.
On Friday, they do 2 sets of heats. They do passing points, lock them in. So the fans, I'm telling you, I did love watching the heat races last year. They put on a show. I mean, because it's no hold bars.
It's a little confusing to follow as a fan, but ultimately what you're watching is pretty impressive.
I'll tell you another thing, and he had a big win over in, I think it was Richmond, Kentucky this weekend. Tyler Carpenter from up in West Virginia. He'll be there, and I mean, that'd be an awesome story. Shows up, and he don't have the equipment them other guys have, but I think he could definitely make the show and run well. So. He's had a good year. There's so many when you go there that I go, you just never know what's going to happen. But 100 laps is a long time, and to beat them veterans is going to be tough.
Yeah,
so.
Got to have to easy on your stuff. We talk about late models at Knoxville. The sprint cars are at Knoxville. Do you think that the open wheel mods will ever get to Knoxville?
They have. They've run a Harris Clash there and some stuff. Yeah, but
not like I'm talking like a Knoxville Nationals.
No, I mean, the modifieds have their own, like, prestigious events that they're building. And you see more and more guys going to them. But, like, here in a couple weeks, Charlotte's going to be a big event. Even with the weather at Eldora, you still see 105 cars there.
Exactly.
So, they could go back, but when you look at a track that big, it's not the best of racing, all right, to put on. For late models, it puts on a decent show, but still, you look at these places like the little half miles or quarter miles or 3/8 are probably some of the best racing to watch.
I don't know. Well, anyhow.
Well, you come from an area where there's big monster tracks.
That's what I'm used to. I think it's still good racing.
Yeah.
Mods at Sealands Grove and Port Royal were still really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I like watching late models better out there. So.
Well, folks, Charlotte, the next 2 weeks are going to be hopping. Pack your suitcase. Come down for 2 weeks. There's a lot to do here. We've got the short track nationals.
They'll probably
and then,
have
of course,
more
the dirt
fans
track
there
world
than they did
finals.
at the big track.
They
might.
That is very possible.
The dirt track fans come out. That is for sure.
Yes, they do. Thank you for joining us here on Slingin' Dirt, presented by Hercules Tires.
This has been Slingin' Dirt with Ashley and David Stremme. Listen every Tuesday at 11 Eastern on MRN.com for more news, interviews, and opinion from dirt tracks all over America. Slingin' Dirt is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.